Hi everyone, welcome back to the Aquarium Garden Showroom. Dave here, and here with some updates on the new tanks, new scapes. We've got the Aquascape 1500, our biggest display behind me, now 3 months old, and also the new Iwagumi that I set up a few weeks ago. It's now just 3 weeks old. So I'm going to run through both of those tanks with you, how they're doing, and also have a little run around the showroom and see how the rest of the scapes are doing as well. Hope you enjoy. And here we are, both new scapes in front of us, the Aquascape 1500, Nature Aquarium, and also the new Iwagumi Big Bold Rocks in a new Aquascape 900. So both of these tanks are fairly new. The Iwagumi is only 3 weeks old, as I said. And let's start with this Nature Aquarium, the Aquascape 1500, now just coming up to 3 months old, believe it or not. So I'm super happy with how this has grown in such a short space of time. It's pretty much almost at the stage how we want it to look now, and just waiting for the trident ferns to get a bit more dominant, to get a bit bigger, but overall, yeah, it's just really happy with how it's gone so far. Been fairly problem free, this tank actually, so a few minor algae issues here and there. You always get a bit of diatoms. We had very little of that. The only algae issues to speak of really in this tank are some green algae on the rocks, which we're happy with. We're going to leave. You know, the plants are algae free pretty much. The wood is clean. Algae eaters are keeping it at bay, and the plant growth has been so great that that is the main thing at keeping algae down, is just healthy plant growth and lots of it. And that's exactly what we've got. We planted really heavily from the start of this scape. In fact, you can see a video that's just been released a few days ago of this 1500 scape. We all set it up here as a team, and I released a build tutorial style video, only 10 minutes long or so, but you can see how everything was assembled, how the wood went down, how it was all glued together, how the soil went in, how it was planted. So it's pretty much a step-by-step, you know, if you want to recreate something like this of your own. So check that out. But basically this is it 3 months on. So I want to just give you some close-ups of a few things. We've got this lovely Prospernica palustris, this one here, this really fluffy one. The rotalas at the back are looking a bit straggly because they've just had a prune, so we've gone for this like dome sort of shape over here with the pruning, which is quite cool. Ricardia Camadrifolia, one of my favourite mosses. It's a lovely one to shoot up closely. That one has a little shrimp on there. What other standout plants? Some Hemianthus calatricoides purling away there. This tank has had a water change today, so you always get some extra purling after a water change, but looks particularly nice on the Hemianthus, all the little bubbles there. What other cool plants in here? Got some lovely Bucephalandra. This is Bucephalandra thea. You can see some blue and red colours in there. Real mixture of colours in that Buce. Stargarni repins down here. There's a little Amano shrimp on there. That's looking really healthy. We've got little clumps of it dotted all over the sort of mid-ground and foreground areas. And going up into the Eleocharis montevidensis at the back, there's the algae eater there. He's really cool. I love him. Doing a little dance there almost for us. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, montevidensis, as I was saying in the background, nice tall grass. So yeah, we've gone for the kind of valley almost down the middle there. You can see the opening in the middle. and a bit of open space around here with some carpeting plants, almost like a wild meadowy type look over that side with a mixture of Eliocharis, Cryptocoria albida brown, Marsilea hirsuta. So a real cool mix of plants down there. This is Anubias coffeefolia, that's worth pointing out, the lovely sort of hammered leaf on that. I really like that plant. So yeah, well done to the guys and everyone here. I think we worked great as a team setting all this one up. And so you can see the video of that. And yeah, it's not much more to say on that one really. It's powered by some of the best lights you can get for Aquascape in the ADA solar RGBs. Of course, we've had those on full power right from the start, and they just do everything for you. You can't really go wrong with them if you get your CO2 right, big water changes, plenty of flow, lots of planting from the start. These are quite cool, these little Pandageras. And get on focus, there you go. He's just up against the glass at the moment. So yeah, moving across away from the 1500 onto our newest scape, which I set up 3 weeks ago in our Aquascape 900. So this is a completely different style to pretty much everything else in the showroom here. This is a rock only scape. Aside from the 45p, this is our only tank with just rocks in it. And this is Iwagumi. So Iwagumi style is basically minimalistic, minimum plants. You've only got 3 species of plants in here. And it's rock only. The stone is all about the stone. The details are all in the stones. And we just found some magnificent elderly stones supplied by Wio. And that's what it's all about. Nice green lush carpeting plants. We've got Elatine hydropiper, which is the dominant plant all over. It's a bit like Glossostigma elatinoides, but apparently a bit more difficult, and it hasn't gone without its problems, to be honest with you. So I was warned that this is a tricky plant. We have had some melting. Let's just try and find some. There we go. Little patch here which has melted. I just pulled that one out today, and there's a couple of other patches where I've just plucked a few bits out because it wasn't looking too good. Not sure what it's down to. And this plant does like colder waters, high CO2, high light. I'm pretty sure that when it fully settles in and adapts, the melting should stop. So it's not been that bad. I was expecting worse. There's a bit more melting just down there behind that shrimp. But on the whole, everything's looking pretty good with the plant. You can see the roots in the soil. That's always a good sign. We can see new leaves. We can see all the gaps being filled in. You can see all the bubbles and all the purling. So I kept this tank at about 20 degrees, which is about, I think, the key for this plant is nice cool waters. And so not completely problem free, but not a disaster either, I would say, with that plant. So far, so good. This is another new plant to us as well, Eriocaulum Vietnam. And I planted it in amongst the rocks there. It does like the shade, so can cope with being underneath those big rocks and gives a different spiky texture against the elatinoides. So that's pretty cool. And then in the background, we've got some Rotala rotundifolia green, which if you watch a previous video or a previous post from us, you will have noticed that was Rotala boschii or boschii, which was green when I planted it, and I wanted a green plant in the background. I wanted the whole thing to be green, but as it grew, it turned pink, and I mean like a bright pink. So it wasn't the best choice in the end, although it was a very nice looking plant. It looked like a bit like Rotala willichii. So although a very nice plant, lovely bright pink colour, it just wasn't what I wanted for this scape. So it came out and we put good old Rotala rotundifolia green in here. And yeah, it looks great under the solar RGB, the Rotala rotundifolia green. Often the plant can look a little bit washed out in colour under other lights. You'll see over here, I don't know if you'll pick up on the camera, but it's more of a yellowy green, if you can see, compared to the other plants under the twin star light. So still a really nice looking plant, but better green under the solar RGB, I think anyway. So yeah, so that's replaced with that. So that's yet to be filled in. There's only about 4 or 5 pots back there just yet to grow out. and that's just a supporting plant really for fast plant growth and a bit of a bush at the back. So one of my favourite angles of this scape is down here, where you can just see the shadow underneath the rock. I think this angle looks great. But it's also a great tank to look for from afar. When you walk in the shop, if I walk right back to the front door here, excuse my maintenance stuff down here. Yeah, it's a great tank to look at from a distance because the rocks are so striking. It's so minimalist. There's almost, you could argue, not much to look at, but that's the whole vibe that's the whole thing about Iwagumi, is that kind of minimalist, simplistic, you know, freeness, I'd say, about it. And we'll have some black neons eventually, and hopefully they'll swim about this kind of level. And they won't detract from the scape, they'll kind of blend with the rocks. They're kind of a silver and black fish. I think will work really, really well. So fingers crossed on the Elatine hydropiper. Hopefully that will carry on growing well. We'll have not much more melting. That's what I'm hoping for. If not, well, if not, hopefully it'll be fine. We can always swap it out for something else, or that would be quite a job. So I'm hoping it'll just be okay. The signs are good so far, so let's go with it. It's going quite well. And yeah, rest around the rest of the showroom. All the scapes are here. Not any major problems. This one here, you'll notice, is very overgrown. This is Ty Streetman's jungle, and it is more than a jungle now. It's just a dense, thick mat of plants. The reason this tank is like this is because it's being rescaped. It's being rescaped by our friend and Ty's friend. You all know him, George Farmer. He's doing a workshop here for us in about a month's time. So this is the Wase Scape-Align tank. Complete with the it's not an Awase light, it's a Life Aqua Max light, and George will be scaping this in a classic George style, I hope, with lots of colour, and yeah, I'll see what he comes up with. Nice classic dense nature aquarium, I hope. Always enjoy his workshops. It's fully booked already. It will be live streamed though, so do look out for that, and this will be taken down soon. So, but it's been a great scape. Thank you so much, Ty, for setting up this kind of jungle biotope for us in the showroom. It's given us another style to look at, another style for customers to see, and that's what it's all about in here. It's about variety, I believe, not just having loads of classic nature aquariums, but having something different for everybody. So yeah, thanks, Ty, and we'll look forward to seeing what comes next in that tank. Here is Tom's tank. Tom's been working here for over 2 years now, almost 3 years, and he set up this 60p for us 5 months ago now, I think. And yeah, there's two main dominant plants in here. There's the Glossostigma elatonoides along the fronts and around the sides, and then Rotala hra, Yao High and Rotala Green, I believe, mixture of round the back. The beautiful wood is Manzanita wood. We've been stocking this for a long time. That just scapes itself. It's just twisty, windy, lovely wood. Fits perfectly in a 60p actually, and yeah, really nice scape. We've just seen this slightly, the 45p, slightly overgrown, but I quite like it like that. Again, that's had a water change today because you'll see the bubbles on the glass. What else haven't we looked at? Let's go over to here to Pavel Kulander's scape. Pavel scaped this May last year, and yeah, this has just been consistently looking good all the time. It's quite open at the moment, you'll notice a lot of open space there. That's because at the back we've replanted all of the stems, basically uprooted the old stems. They were really thick and bushy, but the undergrowth was really leggy and horrible, and it needed all uprooting. We topped all the plants, put all the tops back in the soil. There's also a fresh layer of soil that went down there as well. We siphoned away a good few inches, about this much, we siphoned away into a net, and then put a fresh layer of soil down. All the tops of the plant growth, all the new plant growth was topped and replanted into this soil really densely again. So that will almost rejuvenate, revive all that growth, and they'll grow back even stronger. And then in a few weeks, hopefully we'll start seeing those bushes appear from the rotalas in the back corners again. All the epiphytes are looking fantastic. Trident fern, that's as good as trident fern as I've ever seen in here. And all the boosters getting lovely colours. I think there's Bucephalandra Lamandu, Thea, some Bucephalandra red in there. Just lovely colours from them Bucephalandra. Fantastic. And this is all under the Life Aqua Prime Pro EX lights, which we're a massive fan of. Life Aqua was not really known that much yet. Quite a new company, but you will probably hear more and more of them. They're bringing out all sorts of new products, but their lights we've got in stock and they're really cool. Really nice colour rendition, and obviously, well, the growth of the plants speak for themselves. Moving around here is the sort of classic nature aquarium in a 60 with Vallis Nana in the background now. We did have Cryptocorini Balanzai in the background. It was just a bit too big and a bit too dark, so we replaced it with the Vallis Nana, and also added a foreground carpeting plant of Liliopsis in the soil. So you can see there, that's just growing in, still quite sparse, but sending off lots of new shoots and growing in slowly. It's not particularly fast growing carpeting plant, which is quite good for the kind of low maintenance thing. So I like that one. Here's the 1200, Aquascape 1200 that I scaped over a year ago now. Probably I'd say past its best, in all honesty, though. Still loving all of the ferns and the moss on the wood. The fish are still loving life. The Nymphea Lotus, great view from the top of all the lily pads up there. It's basically 3 plants in here, really. There's the ferns, the moss, and the Nymphea Lotus with some few Bucephalandras knocking around in there. But that's what gives the impact sometimes, is just big stands of plants rather than lots of different species. It can be harder to get a theme or make lots of different plants work well together without it looking a mess. Whereas if you've got a few species but lots of them, you can often create more impact and more of a theme, more of a sort of more of a habitat, kind of more of a naturalness like that as well. So yeah, big fan of that at the moment. Down here, just sitting next to the 1200, is a ADA 45F shallow tank. This was scaped by Ryan, also known as RY, the scape guy on Instagram. He's a fantastic scaper, loves doing his shallows, and the Pagostum erectus I'm just really loving at the moment. It's coming right out the tank, almost touching that light actually. And we've got a little flower, I don't know if you can see, just appearing there. I think that's going to turn purple, I believe, those flowers. And there'll be lots of them, so hopefully in the summer we'll have lots of purple flowers all coming out. Hopefully look quite spectacular. So yeah, that's quite cool just to have sitting on the end there of the showroom as you sort of walk in from the back of the shop. That's the bottle that I knocked over earlier, so if you heard a sound when I was talking about Tom's 60p, that was me knocking the bottle over. I think that's all the scapes. Oh no, there's the Awase 60 here, which I scaped I think about 4 or 5 months ago, I can't remember now. That's just at the very front of the shop as you walk in and turn right towards the showroom. This is the first tank you see. We've got the Abe still there. Hi Abe. We've got the backlight on there, which really it's quite a nice thing to have right at the front of the shop, this scape, with the backlight on there. Got the Hygrophila pinnatus feeder and Rotala HRA, give a nice orange colour at the top of the tank, and then it goes down very much into greens. We've got Ricardia, we've got Bucephalandra, we've got Bulbitis, Staragani Reapings on the left here, and then into a nice natural sand along the front. The wood is kind of dominated by plants, so in fairness I probably should chop a lot of these plants back so we can expose some of this wood. If I get up close you can see some of this really nice wood, the texture on that, and it's, I say, being kind of dominated by the plants, so perhaps some maintenance on that one I think soon. And overall that is the showroom in a 19-minute nutshell for you, so I'm going to end it there. And thanks very much for watching and listening to me talking about the scapes. I hope it gives you an insight into how they're going. And if you can't come in the shop, if you live far away, hopefully these videos are quite cool to watch, just to see how it's going if you can't see everything in person. So once again, take care and thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.